Today we're going to do some experiments generating HHO, the hydrogen and oxygen gas from electrolysis, but we're using high-powered neodymium magnets. We have the wire squeezed in by the magnetic's power at the end, and there's a lot of power on them. We're connected to the power supply now, so we'll go straight in. We've got a bowl of water here, just tap water, no electrolyte, and we're going to see what happens. Now this is where the two sides are attracting each other. We're going to try that first and see what the... Oh! I've probably ruined my it went straight in.
I've killed the adapter then.
Probably.
Let's see if it bubbles.
It's sucking so strong. I need it. Anything happening?
Yeah, we got bubbles forming.
Yeah, I need a matchstick or something between it because it's sucking so powerfully. What's that red thing there?
4 seconds.
There's a date.
Use a bit of cardboard here. Put cardboard into it. I'll insulate it. It's a green cardboard.
Yes, but we've got to have space. So I'll tell you to stop touching. If it covers completely, it's not going to do anything, is it?
There you go.
Yeah, but that's we need an air gap. We need an air gap there.
It's sort of an air gap. Just hold still, don't touch it. It's going to see bubbles. Am I seeing bubbles or am I imagining it?
Yes. Okay, something.
Look at the bubbles forming.
Okay, so we have an insulation piece of cardboard there, and we have bubbles forming.
Unfortunately, the camera isn't.
Come out a bit. Come out a bit.
Ah, there we go.
And they're actually developing up the whole length of this on the cathode side. Okay, let's take it out again.
Leave it in there for 5 minutes.
Because you'll see the rate that they are forming. And we want to try the same thing, but in the opposite direction. And we turn the power for a second.
That's just the speaker cables for our sound setup that you see there. As I'm moving away.
Right, this is the this is with the power close by. I don't know what difference that's going to make. That's exactly the same, isn't it?
Power turned on?
We're not achieving anything with that set up. That's the same. What we want to do is the opposing. We'll do it opposing.
Okay, do opposing, yes.
So put the power on.
There's the speaker cable again.
So here we have they're pushing apart. Really strong force opposing here.
And I see bubbles forming.
Remember, we're using very low voltage here and without any electrolyte.
What sorts of magnets are these?
These are the neodymium, what's that, about 8 or 9 millimeter diameter,
It's like 10 mil.
and about 2 millimeters thick each.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens if we go side by side. I'm going to try and... I don't want them to touch because obviously it will blow up the power supply.
We're looking for bubbles to start forming, aren't we?
Seeing if there's any growth, anything spectacular happens.
Watch them touch. Now the one on your right to the camera, the one what we are viewing from the perspective of the camera, is starting to be covered in bubbles. And you might even see, bring it down to that sort of, no, it's not helpful, is it? Sort of.
So I don't know if it you can visibly see any. That's where they are posing again. So how close I can get. That's if I haven't blown up my power supply. Look at that. Look at that.
Bubbles, yes.
That's interesting.
The closer you get, the more bubbles you get.
Yes, I know, but we get. This is with the battery, with the magnets opposing each other, and we're getting a lot. A lot of action there.
Fortunately, the cameras sort of focus when we're going close.
So, what we're learning here is that if you have the batteries opposing, there's a lot more. Let's try it the other way round. Batteries opposing, but from the other direction.
Yeah, let's try it. Well, the bubbles are forming quite fast this time. I wish this camera could pick it up better. The camera can pick up bubbles rising, sort of, but it's not picking up the high clarity of it, that we are actually seeing it.
Well, I think what we're seeing here is that when you're using magnets which oppose each other, so not attracting but opposing each other, you're getting more electrolysis.
Another experiment, Beef. Can you put one side on one side of the glass and one in the water? Let's see what happens there. Let's see if anything forms on this. Move your fingers. So you've got one side of the glass, one the other. Let's see if anything actually happens on this one here. Just show me.
You do want to in the ion transfer, but so I can't say you get electrolysis that way, but you never know when you do experiments. You've got to try these things.
No, we're getting no effect here.
But if we crank the voltage up to 500 volts, say, 500 volts at 10 amps, we'll want to keep our fingers out of that water, won't we?
Yes. Well, that was the experiment.